January 16th, 2022, 3:07 a.m., a 911 operator in Anniston, Alabama picks up a call that will destroy a family forever. Shots fired, woman down, blood spreading across the floor. By the time police roll up to PURE Nightclub on South Quintard Avenue, 36-year-old Tiffany Aaron, mother of two, wife, the kind of woman who never met a stranger, is taking her last breaths on a cold nightclub floor. Hours earlier, she was dancing, laughing, living her life. Now she's dying, and nobody can tell you why. Paramedics rush her to Northeast Alabama Regional Medical Center, but it's already over. Tiffany Aaron is pronounced dead shortly after arrival. Here's where it gets strange. Police say it was an exchange of gunfire between Tiffany and club security. They say both sides fired. They say it's under investigation. But 3 years later, no arrests, no charges, and the security guard who killed her, never been named, not once. Tiffany's family says she didn't own a gun, didn't carry one, had no enemies, no history of violence. So what really happened inside PURE that night? And why does everyone in power seem so eager to keep it buried? Here's what keeps me up at night. Have you ever walked into a place and felt like the energy was off? Like something wasn't right, but you couldn't name it? Tiffany probably felt safe that night. She was surrounded by people, by security, by lights and music and laughter. But safety? It's just an idea when the people hired to protect you are the ones you need protecting from. By the end of this story, you're going to realize that what happened to Tiffany Aaron wasn't an accident. It was a choice. And the people who made that choice are still walking free. What's on the surveillance footage they refuse to release? If you believe that a mother of two deserves more than silence, more than a buried case, more than being forgotten by the people who were supposed to protect her, then you need to subscribe right now. Because the system is betting on you to move on, to forget, to stop caring. Don't give them that. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a story like this. Because the moment we stop watching is the moment they win. If the people meant to protect you are the ones who kill you, who do you trust? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading every single one. Welcome to True Crime Footprint, where we unveil the darkest mysteries and the most terrifying true crime tales. Kindly hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new stories. Your support keeps these stories alive.
Tell me why you love her. What's the most attractive quality about your wife?
Because she is my best friend.
Aww.
She's been a life-changing experience to me.
And how about you, beautiful bride?
Because he's my best friend and he came in and he just made my life and my kids' life so much better.
Before we go any further, you need to know who Tiffany Aaron really was. Because once you understand her, the official story stops making sense. Tiffany Denise Aaron wasn't a statistic. She was born Tiffany Denise English on July 27, 1985 in Anniston, Alabama. Small town, close community. The kind of place where your name carries weight and Tiffany's. Clean. She graduated from Anniston High School in 2005, went straight into manufacturing. Steady work, good benefits, the kind of job that keeps a family afloat. She spent over 8 years at Bridgewater, then landed at Honda's Lincoln plant as a paint operator. Not flashy, but reliable. She showed up every single day. In October 2020, she married Renardo Aaron, her partner, her person. Together, they had 2 daughters, Jamaria and Jakailyn. Her obituary called them her most prized possessions. And if you ask anyone who knew her, they'll tell you that wasn't just something nice to say. Those girls were everything. But here's what people remember most. Tiffany was happy, not the filtered version you see on social media, genuinely happy. Her best friend Brittany Ware, who'd known her since 3rd grade, said Tiffany poured out so much love on everyone around her. Another friend called her the life of the party with a smile that stuck with you. Her sister Will Nikita said they talked every single day, every morning before work, every night before bed. Sis, you up? That was their ritual. They weren't just sisters. They were each other's person. Tiffany's obituary says she never met a stranger. From everything I found, that wasn't hype. If you crossed her path, you were family. So let me ask you this. Does that sound like someone who gets into a shootout with security? Does that sound like someone who pulls a gun in a crowded nightclub? Keep watching, Because the deeper we go, the more this story falls apart. If you're already feeling like something's off, do me a favor. Hit that like button. It tells the algorithm that stories like this matter, that Tiffany's life mattered. And if you think more people need to hear this, share it. Send it to someone who cares about the truth. Because here's what nobody's telling you. The night Tiffany died, she posted on social media. She was smiling, excited, ready for a normal Saturday night. Less than 24 hours later, she was dead. And to this day, no one can explain why. How does a woman known for spreading love end up bleeding out on a nightclub floor? Comment below. Tell me what you think happened. Saturday, January 15th, 2022. Tiffany decides to go out to PURE Nightclub, local spot on South Quintard Avenue in Anniston. Part sports bar, part late night club. White leather couches, VIP booths, outdoor patio. Nothing fancy, nothing dangerous. Just a place where people go to blow off steam on weekends. Tiffany's there to dance, have a few drinks, enjoy a normal Saturday night. And for hours, that's exactly what happens. Music pumping, drinks flowing, friends laughing, everything normal. Until it isn't. Because somewhere in that club, something goes wrong. Something that ends with Tiffany bleeding out on the floor. And here's the thing, no one can agree on what that something was. Some people say they heard shouting. Others say they didn't hear anything until the gunshots. Some witnesses claim Tiffany was arguing with someone. Others say she wasn't even involved. But here's what we know for sure. At 3:07 a.m., 911 gets the call, and Tiffany Aaron has minutes left to live. Officers arrive fast. What they find changes everything. Tiffany Aaron, 36 years old, lying on the floor, shot multiple times, blood everywhere. Witnesses screaming, panicking, trying to make sense of what just happened. Paramedics load Tiffany into an ambulance and race to Northeast Alabama Regional Medical Center. She's still breathing. Barely. But by the time she gets there, it's done. Tiffany Aaron is pronounced dead. Now here's where the story shifts. Police put out a statement calling it an exchange of gunfire between Tiffany and club security. They say both sides fired. They say it's under investigation. But they don't say why. They don't say who started it. They don't say what led to shots being fired. And most importantly, they don't name the security guard. Think about that. A woman is dead. Police say she was in a shootout with club security. And yet no arrest, no charges, no name. Just an open investigation. Tiffany's family, they weren't having it. Her sister Will and Akita told reporters it was hard to believe Tiffany would start any kind of violence. She said Tiffany wasn't armed. She said Tiffany had no criminal record, no history of fighting, no reason to pull a gun on anyone, let alone a security guard in a packed nightclub. Another family member said Tiffany would do anything for anybody. She didn't have enemies. So if that's true, what really happened? Was Tiffany the aggressor like police claim? Or was she defending herself? Was there a mix-up? Wrong person? Was she caught in the middle of something that had nothing to do with her? We don't know, because 3 years later, the Anniston Police Department still hasn't given a straight answer. But here's the problem. Tiffany's family says she didn't own a gun, didn't carry one, wasn't the type. So where did this alleged weapon come from? Stay with me, because what comes next will flip this case upside down. If you think this looks like a cover-up, if you think someone is protecting a killer, then you need to do something. Subscribe right now. Share this video, because the more eyes on this, the harder it is for them to bury Tiffany's story. Don't let them erase her. Hit that subscribe button. If Tiffany was just dancing, just having fun, how does that night end with her dying on the floor? What could escalate so fast that someone decides she needs to die? Drop your theory in the comments right now. PURE Nightclub has security cameras, multiple angles, everything recorded. After Tiffany's death, her family did what any family would do. They begged police to show them the footage. Let us see what happened. Let us understand. You know what the police said? No. No footage released, no witness statements, no timeline of events. Just a vague claim of an exchange of gunfire in a case that goes nowhere. 3 years later, that footage has never been seen by anyone outside the Anniston Police Department. Why? What's on that tape they don't want us to see? If this was really self-defense, if Tiffany really fired first, if the security guard really had no choice, why won't they show the evidence? Why protect a security guard who killed an unarmed mother of two? Think about that. A woman is dead. Her family is begging for clarity. And the one piece of evidence that could settle this once and for all? Hidden, locked away, buried. What are they hiding? After Tiffany's death, the Anniston Police Department did what they always do. They opened a homicide investigation, asked for tips, reviewed evidence, interviewed witnesses, then nothing. Chief Nick Bowles told the media no arrests have been made, and the case was still active. He said detectives were following leads, but weeks passed, months, years, and nothing happened. No charges, no suspects named, no updates. The only person clearly involved in the shooting, the security guard who pulled the trigger, disappears from the public record entirely. Not named, not described, not interviewed on camera, like he never existed. So let's think about this. If the guard acted in self-defense, why not release his name and clear it up? If Tiffany was the aggressor, why not show the proof? If this was a clean shoot, why is the case still open 3 years later? Because here's what keeps me awake. What if there was no second gun? What if Tiffany never fired a shot? What if this wasn't a shootout? What if it was an execution? Because if Tiffany didn't have a gun, then the whole police story collapses, and someone has a lot to answer for. Now, if you're still not subscribed at this point, I genuinely need you to leave a comment and tell me why. What would it take? What story would convince you? Because if Tiffany's case isn't enough, if a mother of two being killed and her family being denied clarity isn't enough, then I honestly don't know what is. Drop a comment. I'm reading every single one. Maybe you think the channel needs to improve somewhere. Maybe you think we're missing something. Tell me, let's talk. Stay with me. We're not done. Because while the police did nothing, Tiffany's community came together. And what they found will make you rethink everything. How many people have to demand clarity before someone finally listens? How long does a family have to hurt before the truth comes out? Comment below. While the police did nothing, Tiffany's community came together. Hundreds attended her funeral. Her obituary in the Anniston Star described her as a woman with a sweet spirit and a heart full of cheer and laughter. It said she never met a stranger and that her loving memories would be held forever. Online, more than 1,200 people lit virtual candles in her honor on the National Gun Violence Memorial. Facebook pages filled with photos of Tiffany, smiling, dancing, living. Her family held tight to those memories. Her husband, Renardo, her daughters, Jamaria and Jacqueline, her mother, her father, her sisters. They refused to let Tiffany become just a headline, just a case number, just another unsolved file. But here's the truth that hurts. Memories aren't justice. Her daughters are growing up without their mother. Her husband lost his wife. Her family lost their sister, their daughter, their friend. And for what? Because someone decided her life didn't matter enough to investigate right. Let's talk about the details they hoped you'd ignore. Go back to the police statement. They said it was an exchange of gunfire. That means 2 guns, 2 shooters. But Tiffany's family insists she didn't own a gun. So I started digging. You know what? There's no public record of a second weapon being recovered. No ballistics report. No evidence log. Nothing. Which raises something scary. What if they lied? What if the security guard shot Tiffany, panicked, and the club covered it up? What if the exchange of gunfire story was made up to justify a killing? What if Tiffany Aaron was murdered and everyone involved knew it? So here are the questions nobody will touch. Why hasn't the security guard been named? Why hasn't the footage been released? Why hasn't anyone been charged? I'll tell you why. Because the moment they touch any of those questions, the whole thing falls apart. And someone, maybe the guard, maybe the club, maybe even the police, has too much to lose. As of today, January 2026, Tiffany Aaron's case is still open. No arrests, no charges, no resolution. The security guard who shot her has never been publicly identified. The surveillance footage has never been released, and Tiffany's family is still waiting. So what does this say about justice? That if you're connected enough, powerful enough, you can kill someone and walk away. That families only get closure if the system decides they deserve it. Or maybe it says something worse, that some lives matter more than others, and Tiffany Aaron's didn't matter enough. Here's what I need you to remember. Trust your gut. If you're ever somewhere, a club, a bar, anywhere, and something feels wrong, leave. Don't wait for proof. Don't wait for permission. Your gut exists for a reason. Tiffany probably felt safe that night. She was surrounded by people, by security. But safety is fake when the wrong people have power. So trust yourself and get out before it's too late. This isn't just about Tiffany. It's about every unsolved case, every buried crime, every family left in the shadows. It's about a system that shields the powerful and forgets everyone else. Tiffany's daughters will grow up asking what happened to their mom. Her husband will never know why his wife was taken. And somewhere, the person who pulled the trigger is living their life like nothing happened. To Tiffany's family, Renardo, Jamaria, Jacqueline, and everyone who loved her, we're deeply sorry for your loss. Your fight for truth matters. Your voice matters. And Tiffany's memory will never be forgotten. And to you, the person watching this right now, thank you for making it to the end. Thank you for caring. Thank you for listening when so many others looked away. But watching isn't enough. Caring isn't enough. If you want cases like this solved, if you want families like Tiffany's to finally get clarity, you need to act. Hit that like button if you believe Tiffany deserved better. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story like this, because every time we shine light on these cases, we make it harder for them to hide the truth. If you believe the people who killed Tiffany and buried the evidence should be held responsible, then subscribe right now. Don't give the system the satisfaction of your silence. Was justice really served, or did Tiffany Aaron die for nothing? Comment below. I'm reading every single one. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next true crime story. Until then, stay vigilant, stay safe, and never stop fighting for truth. Because Tiffany Aaron's story isn't over. Not until someone finally faces what happened.